everybody. I've never done this before, and I'm wanting to kind of leap into a time where I share my voice more, and I wanted to read to you a passage that I think fits these times. And maybe you've heard it before, maybe you've read it before, but I wanted to give it to you from me, from my heart to your heart. And I want to say thanks to Adey for gathering a group of us last night for an experiment in human congruence around the power of the Eight Shields model and the role of story in our lives. So this is mostly for you, Adey, and it's also for the folks that we gathered with last night and for anybody else that's listening today. Thanks. Here we are. These words were written by Clarissa Pinkola Estes. I do not have permission from her to share them. I am hoping that she is okay with it. And I'm really grateful for all of the stories and the powerful learning that I have received from Clarissa. So here we go. We were made for these times. My friends, do not lose heart. We were made for these times. I have heard from so many recently who are deeply and properly bewildered. They are concerned about the state of affairs in our world and now, the state of affairs in our world now. Ours is a time of almost daily astonishment and often righteous rage over the latest degradations of what matters most to civilized visionary people. You are right in your assessments. The luster and hubris some have aspired to while endorsing acts so heinous against children, against elders, everyday people, the poor, unguarded, the helpless, women, children, and even the beings of this planet. That harm is breathtaking. Yet I urge you, I ask you, gentle you, please do not spend your spirit dry by bewailing these difficult times. Especially do not lose hope, most particularly because the fact is that when we were made for these times, yes, for years, oh, this is so far, especially do not lose hope, most particularly because the fact is that we were made for these times. Yes, for years we have been learning, practicing. We have been in training for just we have been in training for and just waiting to meet on this exact plane of engagement. Clarissa grew up on the Great Plains and recognize a seaworthy vessel when I see one. Regarding awakened souls, there have never been more able vessels in the waters than there are right now across the world. And they are fully provisioned and able to signal one another as never before in the history of mankind. Look over the prow. All of you, look over the prow. Look over your own prow. There are millions of boats of righteous souls on the waters with you today. Even though your veneers may shiver from every wave in this stormy royal, I assure you that the long timbers composing your prow and the rudder came from a greater forest. That long-grained lumber is known to withstand storms, to hold together, to hold its own, and to advance regardless. In any dark time, there is a tendency to veer toward fainting over how much is wrong or unmended in the world. Do not focus on that. There is a tendency, too, to fall into being weakened by dwelling on what is outside of your reach, by what you cannot yet be. Do not focus there either. That is spending the wind without raising the sails. We are needed. That is all we can know. And though we meet resistance, we more so will meet great souls who will hail us, who will love us, who will guide us. And we will know them when they appear. Didn't you say you were a believer? Didn't you say you pledged to listen to a voice greater? Didn't you ask for grace? Don't you remember that to be in grace means to submit to a greater voice? Ours is not the task of fixing the entire world all at once, but of stretching out to mend the part of the world that is within our reach. Any small, calm thing that one soul can do to help another soul, to assist some portion of this poor, suffering world, that will help immensely. Any small part. It is not given to us to know which acts or by whom will cause the critical mass to tip toward an enduring good. It is not given to us to know that. What is needed for dramatic change is an accumulation of acts, an accumulation of tiny acts, adding to and adding to and adding more and continuing. We know that it does not take everyone on earth to bring justice and peace, but only a small, determined group who will not give up during the first, the second, or the 100th gale. Ooh, just like almost makes me cry. One of the most calming and powerful actions that you can do to intervene in any story. Ooh, I'm losing my page. One of the most calming and powerful actions you can do to intervene in any stormy world is to stand up and show your soul. Soul on deck shines like gold in the dark times. I think these are good words. One of the most calming and powerful actions you can do to intervene in a stormy world is to stand up and show your soul. Soul on deck shines like gold in dark times. The light of the soul throws sparks. It can send up flares. It builds signal fires. It causes proper matters to catch fire. The light of the soul throws sparks. It can send up flares. It builds signal fires, and it causes proper matters to catch fire. To display the lantern of the soul in shadowy times like these, to be fierce and to show mercy towards others, both are acts of immense bravery and greatest necessity. Struggling souls catch light from other souls who are fully lit and willing to show it. If you would help to calm the tumult, this is one of the strongest things you can do. There will always be times when you feel discouraged. There will always be times when you feel discouraged, likely daily. I too have felt despair many, many times in my life, but I do not keep a chair for it. I will not entertain it. It is not allowed to eat from my plate. The reason is this: in my uttermost bones, I know something, as do you. It is that there can be no despair when you remember why you came to earth, who you serve, and who sent you here. The good words we say and the good deeds we do are not ours. They are the words and deeds of the one who brought us here. In that spirit, I hope you will write this on your wall. When a great ship is in harbor and moored, it is safe. There can be no doubt, but that is not what great ships were built for. So that was written by Clarissa Pinkola Estes, and I don't know if you've heard of her before, but she's a famous American poet and a post-trauma specialist and Jungian psychoanalyst and author of many books, probably the most famous of which is Women Who Run with the Wolves. And I urge you to visit her website and check out what she does. She has helped me to articulate and embolden my journey towards becoming a storyteller. So just want to say thanks for joining me. And that was super embarrassing, but yeah, I haven't even brushed my hair today. And thank you very much to Adey and the team that gathered last night in Squamish for the event Botanical. I hope we meet again, and I hope we get to share the power of story together. Yeah, thank you. Bye.